Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it. Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the street.
Family, what's good? Welcome back to another edition of Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets. You already know how we do, family. Brought to you as always. It's your host, Justin, aka Just Blaze. Family, you know the drill. To get in contact with me, you can always hit me up and follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513, on IG at JustBlaze513, on Facebook and YouTube. Search Above the Rim Podcast. Also email the show as well, Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Tap in and leave the family a voicemail. The line is always open, 908-718-1592. Best way to support the show is by comping your merch. As always, you already know, link is in my bio. Show some love. Make sure you leave your boy a review on iTunes, Spotify. If you rock with the show, if you're watching on YouTube as well, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, comment, show some love. Tell me your thoughts. I want to hear from the family as well about this crazy playoff action. Now, let's get to the playoff updates right here, man. Let's start off with the first series. The New York Knicks versus the Miami Heat right here. The Miami Heat have taken a commanding 2-1 series lead. The Heat wins Game 1 with a nice margin, loses a very close Game 2 without Jimmy Butler in the lineup, wins Game 3 very convincingly. Now we're up to Game 4. Looking at the series stats in this Knicks Heat series, Brunson is giving you 25-5-5. RJ is giving you 25-5-3. Randle's giving you 17-10, but shooting 21% from 3. Jimmy Butler is giving you 26-7-3. Bam is giving you 16-9. Gabe Vincent is giving you 15 a night. The Miami Heat have 6 players averaging double figures. Let's go a little bit over the series, right? Both teams are shooting very poorly from the field. We have a very classic defensive type of series, or a low scoring type of series, even though the Heat are technically one of the more highest scoring teams in the playoffs. Both teams shooting poorly from the field in this series. Knicks are shooting 42%. The Heat are shooting 41% from the field. There's a lot of things going on in the series right now. Best of 7 series. When a series is tied 1-1, the winner of Game 3 wins the series almost 80% of the time. We see what happened with the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. The Miami Heat won Game 3. Now, I'm going to be honest right here. I'm worried for the New York Knicks, right? I'm a little worried for the New York Knicks. I talked about it in my series preview. I asked the question, are the Knicks going to play experienced ball in this series, or are they just happy to be here? I'm not sure still. They haven't stepped up to the plate in consecutive games in this series. They could easily be down 3-0 rather than be down 2-1 right now. Now, is Tibbs getting outcoached? Yes and no, possibly, but this to me is more about the players, more about the effort, more about their execution in this particular series, right? The New York Knicks, the offense looks a little stagnant. It's a lot of Jalen Brunson or nothing type of possessions for the New York Knicks, and that's not going to get it done against an experienced, veteran-led Miami Heat team, Miami Heat defense. I see a lot of folks online criticizing the lineup adjustments from Coach Tibbs, saying Josh Hart is playing too many minutes. He's playing around 38 or 40 a night in these series, minutes-wise. Grimes and Quickly are getting about 19 minutes a night in this series. Listen, I'm not surprised at all about the minutes distribution for the New York Knicks, right? Josh Hart, he's a Tibbs type of player, and we all know how Tibbs is. He's going to run his players into the ground. He's going to play them high minutes. He's going to run your motor down in any series, regular season, playoffs, preseason. It doesn't even matter, right? So are any of us surprised that the Knicks are playing high minutes? Absolutely not. It's the playoffs, right? But with Josh Hart starting now for the Knicks, the bench production has decreased, right? And that takes a little bit of the advantage that a lot of people said the Knicks had coming into the series, is that they were the deeper team. They had more quality players off the bench, but that hasn't really shown in this particular series. Now, the Knicks in this series are in need of offense in this series, right? So dare I say, dust off the corpse of Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier. Maybe they could get a shot at Game 4. It could be worth a shot because you're looking at it now. Manuel Quickly, he's injured now. He's at he injured his ankle in Game 3. We're not sure if he's going to play Game 4. They say it's unlikely he's going to play in Game 4. So that's going to also take another major hit to the New York Knicks bench in this series. So we're going to see how they can supplement Emmanuel Quickly's production, because they're going to need to, and they're going to have to, because offense seems to be their issue in this series. Now, let's be honest. Julius Randle, he has to play better. He looks a little frustrated, but he has to overcome that frustration in this series, right? He's taking a lot of tough shots instead of letting his shots come to him. Instead of letting it come within the offense. Let's see if he tries to diversify his offense in game 4 and is a little bit more patient out on the floor. You know, he has a tendency to move a little bit fast on offense. He has a tendency to make careless decisions on offense, bad turnovers, poor decisions, a little bit of behavioral issues with the refs, with the teammates, whatever it is. So let's see in game 4 if Julius Randle keeps his cool and becomes that leader that the Knicks need him to be in order for them to win in this series, because game 4 is the most important game of the Knicks season coming up. So we're going to see how they adapt to game 4. On the Miami Heat side, they've got to be feeling good right now. Let's be honest. They got to be feeling good. Up 2-1 with Jimmy Butler missing a game in this series. Jimmy has been aggressive in the 2 games that he has played in this series. The Heat are now 10-2 in their last 12 games that Jimmy Butler has played. Only 2 wins from their 3rd trip to the conference finals in the 4 years that they've had Jimmy Butler on their squad. You talk about a winning player. We talking about playoff Jimmy right here. And playoff Jimmy has done exactly what's needed to be done for the Miami Heat to win this series or to be up in this series. Gabe Vincent, who I said was my X factor coming into the series, has been playing well. I said before, he's giving 15 tonight. Lowry, Strus, Kevin Love has been giving quality minutes in the Heat rotation. Bam has been playing well. He could be scoring a little bit more. He has a tendency to fade, but he has been doing a semi-solid job in this series. He's done what they've asked him to do. Kevin Love, you talk about on the Heat side, Kevin Love's outlet passes has been very Wes Unseld-like. They've been tremendous. They've been phenomenal. They've been one of the main catalysts for the Miami Heat offense. Every time they have a defensive stop, we know for sure that Kevin Love, if he grabs that rebound, he's looking out to who's running on the floor, and he's getting one of those phenomenal outlet passes. And it has been working for the Miami Heat offense. So it's been great. The Heat playing zone a few times in this series has also given the Knicks a lot of trouble on offense. And the Miami Heat, they just look like the more experienced team to me in this series, right? And they are playing like it. The more experienced team, the better coach, the more well-coached team, the more prepared team for their opponent is the Miami Heat. You could tell that they took this series seriously and they are ready to win in this particular series, right? The Miami offense has been more about movement in this series, and the Knicks offense has been more stagnant, more isolation type of heavy, and more one-on-one basketball. So I'm looking for the Knicks to adjust that, and let's see if they adjust that in game 4, because it's the biggest game of the season, like I said before, for the New York Knicks. The biggest game of the season tonight in game 4. Their backs are against the wall. Will the New York Knicks respond, or will they retreat? We'll see.